Hello, my Obonga country people. I wanna date today. When I don't welcome to that show where we say na only good vibe they give a vibe cafe show. My name na Rachel M. Isaac, but una not say no be only me the day they do this show alone. And this show, not forget, as I just do here so my co-host just they laugh. This not the kind vibe, the kind feeling where you go get if they watch this show, you go just they happy, your body go they sweat you. Young man, what be your name?
I don't offer this, so I beg, help me introduce my name.
Okay, the young man went there beside me in name now. Eric Mwaso. Eric ERIC Mwaso. My name be that, and I even my co-host today. Guys, you all are welcome to the show where we give you nothing but good vibes. Vibe Cafe show. Eric, what are we talking about today?
Today we'll be talking about suicide and depression. I mean, people say they're tired, sometimes they want to give up. I mean, everybody experiences low mood at some point. What is the difference between this low mood? What is depression? And also, is suicide the answer to depression? We'll talk about this after this break. Don't touch your dial.
It's alright, you're here now and I'm alright. No worries in this life, but baby's got me feeling fine. When I want it, I can get it. When I need it, he is ready. And all I need in this life of sin is me and my baby, me and my
Where
baby.
we going tonight? Put up in the Mercedes. See my guy from Dubai. Now we doing 180. Now we doing too much. Picture Bonnie and Clyde when she riding shotgun. She never keep it on safety. Oh Lord save me. Told her I never chase. Whisper in my ear like, boy, you need to behave.
Let me take your shirt off.
Will you take my shirt off?
Let me take your shirt off.
Let me take my shirt off. See how we eating in December, no reservation. I'm just trying to move culture for my generation. I got the juice, fresher than your favorite. Got the sauce. I hope they fucking pay. Oh, in the building, how you down? So you really need to show me how you down. Going all the way up, how you down? I like the way your body bounce. Naughty Poe in the building, how you down? So you really need to show me how you down. Going all the way up, how you down? We only came to shut it down. One time for all them, we show up for you.
When they show up for you,
Tell me to hold on, I hold on for you.
I can hold on for you.
Tell me to shut down, I shut down for you.
And I can really shut down for you.
Yeah, you know it's all love for you.
Yeah, you know it's all love for you.
Naughty Poe. But you knew that. See what's savage. It's done jazzy again.
Welcome back, guys, to the show where we give you nothing but good vibes, Vibe Cafe show. So we have a guest today on the sit down segment. Our guest today is Yinkore Angel. She is a consultant psychologist. She is also a counselor who deals in domestic violence and sexual abuse counseling. She is also a volunteer with Mentally Aware Nigeria Initiative, MANI, and Stand to End Rape, STER. Welcome her to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Welcome her to the show. Okay, so it's so good to have you on the show.
Thanks
so today
for
we're
having
discussing the topic that says depression and suicide.
Yes.
What is depression?
Okay, so in layman's terms, not to make it bogus, depression is basically a mood disorder. And mood disorders are disorders that affect your mood. So how you feel and how you feel influences how you act. So in summary, basically, depression is a mood disorder that affects the chemicals inside you that make you feel good, bad, happy, angry, and then reflect it in your behavior outside. So that's just the simple term of depression.
Okay, so what would you say the cause of depression is? Major cause of depression?
Okay, so in our field, in psychology, psychiatry, depression is called the common cold of disorders because it's very frequent. It
Very
happens to a
common.
lot of people. Estimatedly, about 300 million people live with depression. So, what causes depression? There is no one way to explain what causes depression because depression comes around in different ways. So, in psychology, we have something called the biopsychosocial model to explain depression, which means depression comes from A, a biological pathway, B, a psychological pathway, or C, a social pathway. Biological pathway means, genes. There are people that they have genes that make them deficient in making the chemicals that make you happy. Psychological, people that can't explain the things happening to them in a positive way. So everything to them is bad, bad, bad. It can never be good. And then social, which is the social factors. For example, poverty, unemployment, conflict, Boko Haram. So all those things lead to a person being depressed. So there's not one straight path that says, oh, everybody gets depressed this way. Different, yeah. That's why you see celebrities commit suicide, white people commit suicide, black people commit suicide. It's general. So it's not one straight way of why this person is depressed.
Okay, so are there like visible or evident signs of for people who are depressed? I mean, how can you tell someone is depressed? How you
Yeah. So we have something called the DSM. So DSM stands for Diagnostic Statistical Manual. It's like the Bible of mental health.
Okay.
So the DSM is what tells me as a professional what to look for in a person exhibiting symptoms. You understand? So for depression, there are 8 symptoms that a person exhibits that shows that depression has suicide. And
8?
Yes. So
Okay.
if a person exhibits 5 over a consecutive 2-week period, then they have depression. Then they are, diagnosed with depression. So examples of these 8, you have a depressed mood, you have fatigue, overeating or losing weight rapidly without being on a diet, you have feelings of worthlessness, then they have depression.
Okay.
So that's when we diagnose them with depression and then send them for treatment.
Okay, so that means it's depression can be treated, yeah?
Yes, depression can be treated. That's why we call it the common cold.
Okay.
While it is rampant, it can be treated.
Okay. Now, I want to ask a question it's very normal. It's almost a normal thing to find sad people everywhere. I mean, we have friends. The fact that someone is sad does not mean they're depressed. So how can you help someone who is depressed, really?
Okay.
As someone who's friends with someone who's depressed or loved one of someone who's depressed, how can you help them out of that mood, that place?
So the thing with depression here is when someone comes to you as a friend or as a person and they open up to you that they are depressed, the basic state everyone has is, why are you depressed? Your life seems fab, your life seems awesome. But that's the thing, people don't know your life can look all glitz and glamour on the gram, but on the inside, this person is dying. So the first thing is to see them as a person and not as a label. Do not see them as a depressed person. See them as a person with depression, which means the depression can leave them. They are not going to live with that for the rest of their life. The next thing is to be a good support system. So that's the next best thing you can do. Don't try and batter them and say, no, you have to be happy immediately, this. The next best thing you can do is send them to a professional, which is why Mani exists, because we give pro bono counseling. So in Mani, for example, in a week we get over 70 cases, and about 20 to 25 of these cases are depression. Do you understand? And then our in-house counselors who have been trained with different programs, because not everyone is a psychologist, so we have a rigorous training manual that everyone that is an in-house counselor has to go through, and then you are assigned to a counselor and you have a maximum of 5 sessions. If a person now does not get better after our 5 sessions at Mani, then we refer them to Yaba, because not everyone's depression is going to heal over talk therapy, which is psychotherapy. Some people need drugs. Some people need admission, depending on the severity of the depression, because depression is a continuum from mild to severe and then to chronic depression. And exactly. So that's what we do.
How can we get society this society in particular to normalize and see depression as part of our lifestyle?
The first thing is we live in a society that is very religious. So people can say, oh, you have malaria, but take malaria medicine. But when the illness is here, everyone is like, no, demons. Do you understand? So the first step to normalizing it for me would be to start with religion. When churches start to indoctrinate that mental illness exists and is not a demon on your shoulder killing you over time. Do you understand? So for example, when I decided to become a psychologist, the day I said I want to study psychology, first time my father heard it. I never heard the word before. And then every holiday I would come home and I would educate them. And I would tell them, oh, the reason our cousin that year couldn't read was because she had dyslexia. My dad would be like, what's dyslexia? This is an educated man. Do you understand? So the first thing is our institutions, the families, the schools, religion, we have to start from there to say, oh, mental illness does exist and people are living with it. Because this is a man almost in his 60s that didn't know anything. So imagine having a child and your child says depression. You never heard that word. you're going to react to carrying that child to a beach and pouring water on that child and,
It's
flogging
soap.
out demons. Do you understand? So it has to start with the basic institutions in our society and parents being okay to have these conversations, pastors being okay to have this imams being okay to have this. If you do not entertain a conversation, you cannot move forward. That's just basically it. So that's the answer to that.
How does depression, from what point does being depressed lead to suicidal thoughts?
Okay, so one of the 8 factors that I mentioned earlier in the DSM is suicidal ideation, which is when someone has suicidal thoughts. Now, when people commit suicide, a minute number of them are people that are repetitive, suicidal people. So people that have attempted suicide 3-4 times. It's a smaller number compared to the amount of people that have suicidal thoughts and then the people that actually go ahead to commit suicide. So the first thing is suicide is usually an impulse decision. So people, you see sniper and then you're just like, let me just end it. But then if someone comes in between to break that chain of thought at that point, then the chances of them even going back to that is really low. So when it transits from depression to suicide, it's not really something you can pinpoint, because we could have a conversation today and you see me looking fine, and tomorrow on the news you hear,
So there are no traits.
there are no definite,
Traits.
there are no definite. You can see the definite traits of depression, but there's no definite pinpoint that says
a
this
suicidal
person is going to commit suicide.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of timing and luck, which is why money exists again, because we've picked someone from a beach before. We've picked someone literally about to do it. So if organizations like this do not exist and people do not talk about it, people just keep doing these things and we think, oh, the person fell inside water. No, person committed suicide. Do you understand?
So have you had cases of people who came for treatment but they didn't get better, they ended up committing suicide?
At Mani, we haven't had that.
Okay, but
Yeah.
personal experience or anyone you know?
Okay, I won't say someone I know per se. I would say, studying cases and all of that.
Okay.
Because I have interned at Yaba before. Okay. So you would see, repeats.
When you say Yaba, what do you mean? So we're
Federal neuropsychiatrist.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, it's just so easy. Federal
yeah.
FMPH, right?
Yeah.
So there are people.
It's not Yaba left that way. Yaba left.
So there are people that would come for treatment over time because family. But then the thing with suicide and depression is there comes a point where people give up on you, especially with people that live with chronic depression. And for treatment, I do as something I call the triad, which is psychotherapy, talk therapy, you have drugs, and then you have social support. So if you're getting psychotherapy, you're getting drugs, and then there's no social support, there's no friends, there's no family, it breaks the triad. So we can pump you with all the drugs in the world and we can do all the talk therapy in the world, but if you don't have other humans that sincerely care about you, then people give up and they just go and commit suicide. So I have had cases in research of people that have committed suicide, but I have not had a one-on-one case with someone that has committed suicide. I wouldn't know what to do after that. As a professional, I wouldn't know how to cope if a client of mine went ahead to commit suicide.
Okay. So I know there'll be some people who know they are depressed, but they might want to seek medical help, but they don't know how to go about it. Or some know how to go about it, but they don't think they have enough money. So what would it cost for someone who knows they're depressed, but they don't know how to go about it? How much? What would it... But the whole process, reaching out to you, seeking help, and actually getting treated, what would it cost?
So whenever I meet people and they ask about therapy, the first thing I talk about, like I said, is money, right? Because it's pro bono. It's free. Do you understand? But then this is why we have on the street campaigns and social media campaigns so people actually know. Do you understand that it's free? Now, therapy as a professional is expensive. I won't lie, because
yes, it is.
I've got bills to pay. You have got family. Do you understand? So I can't do pro bono therapy all my life. How am I going to feed? So therapy on its own for professionals, because people have different fees. Do you understand? So the people charge based on, maybe their office space or all of that. I know people that charge 5,000. I know people that charge 200,000.
5,000 naira.
Yeah, per session.
Okay.
I know people that charge 200. I'm not going to say how much I charge. I know that.
Sell your market now.
And then there are
Sell
people,
it.
and then there are people that have higher clientele. Do you understand? I have professors that charge 150, 200, depends on clientele,
For how
depends
long
on
though?
qualifications.
For how long though?
Okay, so how therapy works, right, is based on the presenting complaint, which is what you come with. So for someone with mild depression, just starting out depression, I can say 3 sessions. Now
Three
for someone,
sessions
3
is
sessions,
between.
45 minutes to 1 hour.
Oh,
Yeah, that's how long the session
so
lasts.
wait, hold up, just hold up.
Hold up.
Wait, so if we're paying 150,000 naira to the professor, it's for 45 minutes.
It depends on that person's package. So some people can have, you can divide it. It can be 3 sessions. It depends on that. I don't speak for other professionals. Do you understand? I just say that's the range it is.
Okay.
And even outside Nigeria, it's more expensive.
Yeah,
Which is
sure.
why for example, in Nigeria, we have about 200 psychiatrists for a country of 180 million and above, which means 1 psychiatrist to 1 million people. That's not possible.
No, it's not.
That's really not possible. Do you understand? So which is why a lot of people, there's a brain drain in the profession, psychology and psychiatry, because when you're earning in dollars, you see your colleagues abroad earning thousands of dollars per session or per month, and you're here charging for it. You're like, we studied the same thing. I'm going to get a visa and travel. Do you understand? So that's why a lot of people leave. Do you get? But therapy for money is free. It's pro bono. You go there, you get a counselor. If you need treatment, we get you to Yaba. If it's something that Yaba can take on, they take it on. If it's something that requires more, we do more. So you understand? So that's how it works.
Okay, thank you. This
Relax.
has been very, very informative and very insightful. Really, really, for
Yeah.
real. So I want you to give your last words to that person who is depressed or
Yeah.
someone who's friends with someone who is depressed. Last words to them.
Okay, so if you're living with depression, it's not the end of the world. There are things and people that can help you. There are drugs. It's something we say at Money, if you can't make your own neurotransmitters, buy them. You buy drugs. And it's not shameful to take drugs. And if you have family or friends living with depression, it's okay to help them. It's okay to be with them and be their social support and not give up on them because they're going through a phase that does have an ending. It's not a disorder that, is for life. It can be fixed. It can be treated. So get help and get your friends and family help.
Okay, so how do people reach you on social media?
So Manny, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, on Instagram at Mentally Aware Nigeria. And we have our hotlines, which are on our social media as well. I don't actually know the hotline. I don't know it offhand. It's a long ass number. But, so yeah, we have that. And then for me, myself, you can reach me at Angel Incore on Instagram or via Manny. Just ask for Angel and they'll get to me.
Thank you, Angel.
Thank you.
Angel is an angel. Okay, we'll go on a break, guys. Coming up next is the lifestyle segment. Stay with us. Welcome back to the show where we give you nothing but good vibes. Okay, it is time for a lifestyle segment, and today on lifestyle we are talking about traveling
yes.
as a lifestyle. Yes. So, do you like to travel?
Oh God, I really love to travel, and
I
one
do.
of the things I think, from my own experience, traveling is not so much about how much you spend, but it's about the memories you make.
Okay.
People always think you have to travel to Belize, you have to travel to Greece. Not all of the. I mean, here in Nigeria, we have places like Calabar. They have the hike. They have the ranches, carnivals, resorts. In Abuja, there's a place where you can hike. The ancient and historical, beautiful city of Abeokuta and Ibadan. Just see, look around you. Appreciate nature, appreciate the sights and sounds of where you are. It doesn't have to be somewhere expensive, and make sure you go with people that you love and to make memories with. It's interesting to do that.
I don't know why Eric was involved going with people you love. I mean, there are times when you just want to be by yourself.
That works.
For people who like to be, if you're a loner like me, sometimes you just want to be by yourself. You can go by yourself. Okay, I remember this time that I had to do a job and I traveled to Ikogosi, beautiful place. Now they have the part where the warm and cold water where they meet,
together,
and then there's a warm spring. And then the good thing about it is they have like a natural pool where the water from the spring, the warm water goes directly to the pool. So it's like you're in like a large jacuzzi. It's like different depth and all. You can, I mean, you're swimming and the water is not cold, water is warm and they touch your body. So if you go there with a loved one and you guys hug, Feel it in your spine.
You're feeling it in your core.
You are, yes,
I
it's feeling in your
feel
core.
it in my fingers.
Listen to you.
I feel it in my
If you
soul.
follow his voice, you will change your mind about traveling.
That's
Totally.
a lie.
Okay, but really, there are fun places. He said Calabar. Yeah, Calabar is like my favorite place to
Yeah, I
travel
love
to.
Calabar.
I go for the carnival every year. I get to play with the band. I get to dance. Yes, I dance good. I get to dance with a band. So traveling, you might not be in Nigeria.
Yeah, I mean, there's a place in Ghana where you can
to.
see crocodiles.
Different places.
and stuff.
Just go online, look for fun places to travel to. All the things you need to do. There's so much you can learn. You learn. You eat good food. You learn how to. Yes, their costumes. You get to see beautiful men.
Calabar and Akwa Ibom with their better afang, epwan, koko.
Okay, Eric. That is the much you can take on this segment. Coming up next is the Vibe segment. Stay with us.
Welcome back, guys. It's still Vibe Cafe Show, the show where we give you nothing but good vibes. And today on Vibes, we'll be talking about staying strong. What does it mean to stay strong? I mean, life will show you so many lemons. Life will show you so many things, the ups and downs, the good, the bad. But staying strong is just, pulling through, pushing through, doing everything you can to still be here and enjoy life even with all its odds. Stay strong, be strong for yourself and for the people around you. What do you think of?
Well, guys, I'm not going to say much about this. All I'm going to say about staying strong is stay strong for you because you are all that you have got.
And I agree.
And on that note, we've come to the end of the show today. Do not forget that this is a show where we give you nothing but good vibes. You can also be a part of the conversation on any of our social media platforms at Vibe Cafe Show. My name is Rachel M.M. Isaac.
And I am Eric Wanso.
And from both of us, we say, bye, guys.